All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing. Giancarlo and Adam Barker will start on the front row. Max Gunther and Nick Sorensen have the second row. Mike Marshall and Yannick Gunther on the third row. Rudolph Gunther and Harry Volsmeer round out the field. Drivers starting to get loaded in, ready to go. A few of the drivers having to make a quick adjustment here. Obviously, there are a lot of them sitting on qualifying fuel. Had to get some fuel and race setups into the car. Adam Barker, Giancarlo, Mike Marshall out on track, just waiting on the rest of the field. Here comes Harry. If you have a favorite driver in the field, don't forget to drop into the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for here this morning. Sadly missing quite a few of our favorite drivers this morning. Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel not here this morning. She was 6th in points coming into this week. Also missing the Minister of Defense, Mike Dolling, not in the field as well. The Mad Bear was here at Sebring last week, not here. Simon Zierk also not here today. Drivers rolling out through the last few turns. The Porsche pace car getting ready to head to pit road. Pace car ducks in. Giancarlo is in control on the start. Out of that final turn, just waiting for Giancarlo. He fires. They are away, and green flag is in the air. Giancarlo will lead him down to turn one. Not surprised to see everybody spreading out, setting up into one, and Adam Barker dove it into one but overshot. Harry Volsmeer has had a problem back behind. Adam Barker losing some ground in turn one. Yannick Gunther involved. Nick Sorensen had a problem. See what happened with Harry. Harry down or out on the outside. Turns down. Oh, just comes across the nose of one of the Gunthers. And goes around. That was Yannick down there to the inside. He gets it wound up and goes around. Nick Sorensen coming out of the first turn. Oh, Adam Barker trying to recover. Gets into Sorensen and turns him around. A rough start for race one. Meanwhile, Giancarlo and Max Gunther able to check out. The big winner here was Rudolph Gunther. He managed to avoid all the chaos, picked up 4 spots, and is now up into third. Mike Marshall also picking up a spot now. Oh, Mike! Oh, Mike and Adam are together. Lap 1 has been extremely eventful. Let's take another look. Coming down toward that final turn, the Column Lift Solutions Mercedes gets a little bit loose, gets that barrier, and Adam has nowhere to go. Take a look at Mike. That Mercedes power, he just puts it down. That back end steps out. He was too far inside on the turn. Nick Sorensen already has gone to pit road. Mike Marshall and Adam Barker looks like they are trying to limp it back to pit road. Definitely a difficult start for the field. Yannick Gunther has made his way back up into fourth after being involved in that turn one incident. Big winner, though, is Rudolph Gunther. Rudolph up 4 spots into third, looking for a podium to start the day. This is also Rudolph's first race of the season, so welcome back to him. Meanwhile, Giancarlo in the lead, just set the fastest lap so far. Max Gunther swung a little wide out of turn one. Those off tracks likely not going to be an issue in race one, but race two is going to be brutal if the drivers aren't careful. And again, hot track this morning, so the drivers have to be extremely careful not to just four-wheel drift off the track. Track temperature this morning, 86 degrees. It has been going up. Air temperature, 81 degrees, and as these guys put the laps down, it is going to get hotter. That last 3 or 4 laps we'll be watching closely, as a lot of these guys are really going to struggle. Adam Barker has been to pit road and got the car fixed. Mike Marshall, however, has not been to pit road and still holds on to fifth, but Harry is right to his bumper. They're heading back around right now. Fully expect to see Mike in this time. Mike does swing out. He is headed to pit road. Now Harry, who had that incident on lap 1, turn 1, is now back into the top 5 and is reeling in Team Gunther. Interesting note, Team Gunther is currently sitting 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Giancarlo, though, still in the lead as he comes around Nick Sorensen. Giancarlo has put a 1.1 second gap on Max Gunther. Max has been able to utilize some of this lap traffic and chaos, has closed back up to within a second on the leader. We mentioned it earlier, this is not an easy track to pass on. There's not a ton of opportunities. You really have to be set up and ready when those opportunities present themselves. Rudolph Gunther still sitting in 3rd. Yannick, the cool one, Gunther, in 4th. Yannick starting to close in on Papa Gunther. Harry Volsmere back in 5th, closing in on both Rudolph and Yannick. At the moment, Mike Marshall is back out, maintains 6th place. Adam Barker in 7th is closing in on Marshall, though. Nick Sorensen, despite being a lap down, is starting to pick up some speed. He just set his fastest lap of the morning. Giancarlo's lead growing once again as he comes through the chicane, now 1.5 seconds over Max. Remember, these two are battling for that championship right now. They are the top two in points. Third in points, Adam Barker, all the way back in 7th. But Adam is closing in on Mike Marshall, who is running 6th at the moment. Adam definitely had a rough start to this race, just missed his braking point into turn 1, overshot, got back out on track, but as he did, clip Sorensen, sent him around. Then at the end of lap 1, gets involved in the incident with Mike Marshall and has to go to pit road for repairs. Watching off tracks build here early, Max Gunther currently the highest number at 11. Nope, still holding at 11. Giancarlo, though, 5 off tracks, but has a big lead now, just over 2 seconds. Meanwhile, Yannick Gunther is closing in on Rudolph, now just 1.5 seconds back, and Harry Volsmir right at 7 seconds back from that fight. Adam Barker has almost caught up to Marshall now, just 1.8 seconds back. After that chaotic lap number 1, things are definitely going to be interesting going into race 2 with that top 7 invert. Giancarlo continuing to lead and extend that lead over Max Gunther. Yannick Gunther has come to pit road. He has had a problem. Oh, Yannick goes through the kink, gets too much of the rumble strip, and hits that outside wall, a hard hit. He has gone to pit road and got repairs, but Harry Volsmir has been able to capitalize on every mistake in front of him so far. He is now into 4th place. Giancarlo continues to extend his lead. Mike Marshall has had a great recovery so far, now in 5th. A lot of the drivers this morning were talking about coming through that kink and with the hot track, how tricky it was going to be. Yannick just gave us a demonstration. And Harry, man, what a comeback for Harry Volsmir. After that turn 1 incident at the start, has fought his way back up into 4th. Adam Barker has caught the back bumper of Mike Marshall. Mike still holds on to 5th place at the moment. Giancarlo's lead now 3.4 seconds over Max. Rudolph back in 3rd. Harry Volsmir in 4th has closed down to about 6.25 seconds on Rudolph. He is gaining almost a second a lap. Last time by it was over a second. He might still have a shot at a podium here. Mike Marshall in the Mercedes, Adam Barker in the Porsche, and they've got Yannick not far behind, starting to reel him in as well. Adam really working that Porsche, trying to find a way around Mike Marshall. But again, so hard to pass here. Can Adam make it work? If he can have the momentum coming out of this final turn, use the slipstream into turn 1, could shoot the inside. Could not get the momentum. That Mercedes power just keeps Mike Marshall out in front for the moment. Meanwhile, Giancarlo out front of the race. 3.5 seconds is the lead now. Rudolph still sitting in 3rd, but now Harry is close to about 5.1 seconds and closing quickly. Harry's closed the gap now down to 4.7 seconds. He continues to reel in Rudolph very quickly. Adam Barker changing up his lines just a little bit, trying to find an opening. He has to try and beat Mike Marshall through the turns. As we saw last time by, Mike Marshall, that Mercedes power advantage. And here we go. Adam shoots to the inside and makes it stick. Adam Barker back to 5th. Mike will have the advantage down the front straightaway, though. Can he reclaim the position? Does not look like it. Giancarlo continuing to extend his lead. Harry continuing to reel in 3rd place. Rudolph Gunther. Giancarlo out front has the fastest lap of the race this morning, has had the most consistent laps. 2 more times around for Giancarlo. No mistakes so far, but that 2 more times around is definitely going to be a huge help for Harry Volsmeer, who currently in 4th place is now 3.8 seconds behind 3rd place Rudolf Gunther. Rudolph sitting in 3rd place, continuing to try and find a little bit more speed. Just needs enough to keep Harry back there for 2 more laps. But through the kink, Harry is closed down to 2.6 seconds. He is flying this morning. Giancarlo coming through the final 2 turns, likely to see the white flag this time. White flag is in the air for Giancarlo. He's got a big lead over Max. Rudolph still sits in 3rd, but with 1 lap left to go, can Harry close down a 2.5 second gap? Harry has been consistently 1 second or more faster. Adam Barker now in 5th. Mike Marshall currently sitting in 6th. Yannick in 7th. Sorensen, that rough start, back in 8th. Will have to fight his way back in race number 2. Rudolph Gunther in 3rd, but Harry is caught within 1.5 seconds. Does he have enough time left? He's really going to have to send it. Meanwhile, out of the final turn, Giancarlo, 3 weeks in a row, wins the first race. And Max Gunther is going to come home in 2nd, and it looks like Rudolph Gunther will hold off a hard-charging Harry to finish in 3rd. And let's see if we can talk to our top 3, starting with Rudolph. Hey, Rudolph, that was a great run, buddy.
Hey, Doug. Thank you. I'm happy with that position.
Were you a little worried that last few laps seeing Harry close the gap?
Yeah. I looked at the delta at the relative. Oh, I got hit. At the relative, and I saw that he was coming very, very quick at me, and I was just, driving around on trying to stay on the gray turf.
Well, it definitely paid off. You made it through the first lap unscathed and managed to come home 3rd. A great first race back, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
Rudolph Gunther comes home in 3rd. Max Gunther comes home in 2nd. Max, that was a quiet 2nd place run this morning.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was quite nice. It was driving by myself more or less.
Well, you managed to survive lap one, and that seemed to have been the key this morning.
Yeah, yeah. I just saw it in my mirror. It was a lot of chaos, I think, behind me. But yeah, Giancarlo is just way too fast. You don't catch him. It's impossible.
Well, now he's going to be starting behind you in race two. Can you keep him back there?
It's actually quite easy to defend on this track. So it's gonna be really hard to get in front, and it's gonna be really hard, really easy to keep him behind. I think, especially in chaos.
Well,
I'm confident.
well, it sounds like it, man. Good luck and a great first start to the race.
Thank you, Doug.
And finally, our winner, Giancarlo. Giancarlo, 3 weeks in a row. The first, you've won the first race. I mentioned it. It could be a trend. We've seen you do this kind of thing before.
Yeah, I'm glad to have survived the start. It seems that things got pretty crazy.
They,
But there's a whole 50-minute race to go, and I'll try not to repeat what I did last week because that was not a good outing.
no, it was definitely a rough one, and you lost the points lead to Max. But now you've got to try and find a way around Max on a track that's very difficult to pass on.
Yeah, there's really only kind of one overtaking spot into turn one, so we'll definitely try to be a bit more cautious than last week. It is a long race, so I'll try my best.
And, starting from seventh, you saw what happened in your mirror. Obviously, you didn't see everything that happened on lap one. The first turn and the last turn both brought some chaos. Are you going to be conservative at all on the start of this one?
Absolutely, I'm rewatching the incidents right now, and I'm gonna do my best to let everyone kind of settle into a groove, and then try to pick my overtaking opportunities wisely if I get them.
Well, just make sure to tell Nick the car works a lot better with the spoiler on it.
Will do.
All right, congratulations, man. Good luck.
Thanks, Doug.
Well, and despite the chaos in race one, everybody in very good spirits this morning and ready to go. We saw that charge from Harry Volsmir. Harry's going to be tough to beat in this race. He had a ton of speed that second half of the race. From the time he was involved in that incident, he was able to charge back the whole race. This race is going to come down to the tire wear. A 50-minute race, they have to do this try and do it on one pit stop. They will have to stretch that tire wear to 25 minutes, and I fully expect to see every driver take a 4-tire stop here this morning. Plus, we were looking at track temperatures going up. They're now up to 88 degrees. And I expect a couple degrees higher to start the second race. But by the end of the second race, it could be even hotter. Just a few seconds left to go. Then we're going to race two. Just enough time to run to the snack bar, get some food, get some drink while you're standing in line. Make sure you hit that like, follow, subscribe. Most importantly, hit that share button. Invite your friends and family to come watch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Race number two with Yannick Gunther and Mike Marshall on the front row. Adam Barker, Harry Volsmir have the second row. Rudolf Gunther and Max Gunther on the third row. Giancarlo starting back in 7th, and Nick Sorensen rounding out the field. Series regular Cody Kennedy also not here, as well as Simon Zierk, Matt Baer, and Mike Dolick not being here. Hey, the Minister of Defense missing in action. That one's a big surprise. Yannick, the cool one, Gunther, will be in control of... No, I'm sorry. Mike... No, it will be Yannick Gunther in control of the start. Pace car on pit road. Yannick fires and they are away. Green flag is in the air. Smart move on Yannick's part, having seen the chaos in turn 1 during race 1. Sorensen trying to shoot the gap to the inside of Giancarlo. A few drivers go wide, but everybody survives turn 1. Mike Marshall went a little bit wide to avoid some chaos. Now Harry Volsmir into 4th place, right on Marshall's bumper. Oh, one of the Gunthers way wide. Looks like Rudolph Gunther went way wide through there. And falls back into 6th. Now Max into 5th. Giancarlo did say he was going to play it safe here early. He has let Sorensen by and is just riding in 8th. Yannick Gunther in the lead, but Adam Barker has almost caught him. Mike Marshall taking that final turn a little wider on cold tires this time. Oh, Adam Barker in trouble on the front stretch. Adam coming out of that final turn just a little too wide. Gets off into the slick stuff and hits the inside wall hard. Oh no, Mike Marshall through the kink loses the back end. And loses the front end of his car once again. Let's take another look. Mike coming up the hill toward the kink, hits the apex, just slides onto the rumble strips and hard to the outside wall. Yannick Gunther in the lead now, has a 4.8 second lead on Harry Volsmir. Max now in 3rd, Giancarlo up to 4th, Rudolph in 5th, Nick Sorensen now to 6th, Adam in 7th, and Mike Marshall in 8th after their incidents. Mike Marshall is headed to pit road for repairs. Giancarlo able to capitalize on a lot of chaos up to 4th place. Remember, after the invert, Giancarlo started in 7th, but going into turn 1, let Sorensen get by. Sat in 8th for the entire first lap, but was right where he needed to be to capitalize on some chaos. Mike Marshall has repaired. He is back out on track. Mike has not had a good start to the morning. Had problems on lap 1 in the first race. Problems on lap 2 in the second. Meanwhile, Yannick has opened up a 4-second lead, but as the drivers get some heat into the tires and start to find some grip, Harry is starting to close in just a little bit. That gap now down to 3.8 seconds as Harry tries to run Yannick down. Max right behind in 3rd, Giancarlo in 4th. Adam Barker, despite that incident coming out of the final turn, still with the majority of the lead group. Does have some damage on the front end of that Porsche, but is holding on to it. Harry Volsmir just set the fastest lap so far, as it looks like Giancarlo found another place to pass. He is down inside, but could not get it done. Max did say it would be way easier to defend against Giancarlo than it would be to try and get back around it. Nick Sorensen, who started in 8th, now up to 6th. He had a rough race in race number 1. Starting to make up some ground, but Adam Barker has gotten by him and taken 5th. Despite the early problems, Adam's still fighting back. It wasn't that many seasons ago that we saw Adam Barker come back from literally every problem you could possibly have on iRacing to consistently get podium finishes. Started calling him the comeback kid, then he went and popped off a couple of season championships. Has been in the championship hunt every season since. Definitely not the best start to one of his seasons, but as we're seeing here today, he is fighting back. Hey, good morning, beautiful. How are you? Yannick still maintaining the lead, but Harry is closing in. Yannick's lead about 4.2 seconds, but Harry continues to reel him in. However, Max trying to get back in the fight, and Giancarlo right there as well. These three going at it is definitely helping Yannick. It is also helping Adam Barker, who has now closed the gap down to 3 seconds. Harry maintains second place for the moment. Max looks to the inside, though. Out of the turn, gutsy move by Max, headed into the chicane. Oh, they are inches apart, and Giancarlo able to take advantage. But can he make it stick here? Not yet. This battle for second back to fourth is getting wild, and Adam Barker is loving it. He is now less than 2 seconds behind. I don't think these guys are thinking about tire conservation at the moment, the way they are going at it. Yannick also loving this as he is pulled out to a 5.8 second lead, and Nick Sorensen has had a problem back behind. There's Nick going into the chicane. One of the two Mercedes goes off in the grass but manages to hold on to it. And let's see what else has happened to Sorensen here. Goes off in that sweeping left-hander, just loses the back end. Goes around, keeps it rolling. Harry still holds on to second, Max in third, Giancarlo in fourth. Adam Barker now just 1.7 seconds back. Rudolph Gunther back in sixth. Sorensen still holds on to seventh. Mike Marshall back in eighth. Marshall, however, did gain some ground with Sorensen's incident, plus he just set his fastest lap of the morning. And Max Gunther has gotten by Harry, as has Giancarlo. Let's see how that happened. Headed down toward turn one. Harry holds that in. Oh, Harry just overshoots trying to hold the bottom. Max and Giancarlo both slip by. Max now into second place, trying to reel in Yannick. And remember, we've mentioned it since late last season, Yannick's nickname is the cool one. However, that nickname goes away the day that he beats Max on track. Currently, Yannick in the lead with Max in second. Could today be the day that nickname changes? They do still have to make the pit stop as well. Harry, who slipped back to fourth, has now got Adam Barker in his mirrors. Barker has had quite a comeback after that lap 1 incident. Adam currently in fifth, less than half a second behind Harry. Harry and Adam both not far behind Giancarlo and Max. And here we go. Giancarlo's going to make the power move on the high side. Couldn't get it done. Could just be a tactic by Giancarlo, trying to force Max to make a mistake here. Now don't forget, the drivers do have the concern of incident points and DQ. I can tell you right now, a lot of these drivers already have double-digit off tracks. How many of them gave them incident points is another question, but drivers definitely taking a risk here this morning. Yannick still in the lead, but Max Gunther currently in second has gained quite a bit of ground, now 3.8 seconds back. Adam Barker seemed to struggle through that turn just now. He was gaining ground on Harry not that long ago. He was right on Harry's bumper. Speaking of right on the bumper, as they came through the kink, Giancarlo was practically attached to Max Gunther. Remember, Max has the points lead over Giancarlo by 8 points, but after race 1, that definitely is going to change. Adam Barker still trying to reel Harry back in. Rudolf Gunther still holds on to 6th, but Sorensen is starting to close in. Mike Marshall still back in 8th. The closest battle right now is Max and Giancarlo. But Adam is closing back in on Harry Volsmir, under a second now. Giancarlo once again all over the back bumper of Max Gunther. They go off into the kink, nose to tail. And wow, Giancarlo takes a different angle into the turn, trying to find any advantage he can here. Hey, David, it's been a while. How have you been, dude? Yeah, I think you're right. Adam has a little bit of damage to the right front of that car from that lap 1 incident. He can get to Harry, just hasn't been able to get around him. Oh, he spoke too soon. Adam almost got it. These two, as well as Max Gunther and Giancarlo, the two great battles so far all morning long. Nick Sorensen is in. This is a bit early for his fuel and tire stop. See if we can see. Does Nick go ahead and take the tires here? Hits his pit stall. The car is up. He will get 4 tires and fuel. Max Gunther and Giancarlo continue to reel in Yannick at the moment. Harry and Adam continue to battle for 4th. Sorensen on his way out. And Rudolf Gunther has had a problem. Rudolph comes through the kink. We saw this in race 1 from other drivers. Just a little too much of the rumble strip sends him around. Rudolph's trying to fight till his scheduled pit stop. Meanwhile, Yannick's lead now down to 1.3 seconds over Max and Giancarlo. Harry and Adam now about 6.5 seconds behind that battle. Not expecting any pit strategy tricks here this morning. Everybody was talking about in pre-race how much the tires are getting eaten up here this morning. We saw the temperature going up for the track. It is now 92 degrees on track, so the tire's taking even more wear. Air temperature still holding at 82 degrees, but as the track temp goes up, the tires wear a lot more. Also starting to see a lot more sliding through the turns. Max Gunther and Giancarlo have just about caught Yannick Gunther. This will give Harry and Adam an opportunity to start reeling them back in. But we should start seeing pit stops next time by. Pit strategy, what lap they go on, how far they stretch, could be a huge deciding factor here. Car's starting to slide a lot more. Adam Barker going into turn 1, tried to make a move, was unable to get past Harry. Rudolf Gunther has gone in for his stop. The top three now nose to tail. Harry and Adam about 9.5 seconds back. Adam's starting to look a little frisky here, like he wants to make something happen. Yannick is going to stay out. Max is headed in. Giancarlo stays out. Adam and Harry both stay out. Adam gets a nose in. Harry had the run out of the turn. This morning, all three members of Team Gunther are here. Giancarlo now on the back bumper of Yannick. And Giancarlo doing the look to the outside again. We've seen him try that move a couple of times this morning. Just doesn't have the momentum to make it stick. Adam Barker has gotten past Harry finally and taken third. Down into turn one, same issue we've seen for several drivers this morning. Braking too late into turn one, swinging wide. Adam right in position to take advantage. Giancarlo brings it in. Yannick is going to stay out. Adam Barker staying out. Harry is also staying out. Adam Barker now in second, has pulled a bit of a gap on Harry in third. Giancarlo off pit road now in fourth. Max Gunther comes off pit road in fifth. The top three still have to pit. But by stretching as far as they have, they will have the freshest tires on track. And as hot as this track is getting, and the tire wear we've seen could make a huge difference. Hey, thank you so much for the stars, Nate. Adam Barker in second, 9 1/4 seconds back and gaining. Yannick continuing to stay out here. Adam also continues to stay out. Harry Volsmir also not pitting this time. I do believe this is the furthest we have seen any of the drivers go on a fuel run all season. At both Sebring and Monza and the races last season, right at the 25-minute mark, the drivers were barely had enough fuel to hit pit road. So interesting to see they can go this much further. Don't forget, tune in tonight, 7:30 Eastern. The BRR Cup Series season finale is tonight at Charlotte. 4 drivers, just 4 points apart. It's going to be a dogfight all night long. Less than 20 minutes left, and Yannick is going to bring it down. Adam Barker stays out. That is a shock. Harry Volsmir also staying out. Adam Barker will claim the lead here. Can he capitalize enough on clean track and have a quick enough stop to make up a lot of ground? Giancarlo now to third, just set the fastest lap of the morning. Looking at the lap times after Giancarlo's fast lap, that was the fastest lap by almost 0.4 of a second. Adams lead now 4.5 seconds over Harry in third. Harry in second. Giancarlo back in third, about 14 seconds back. Does Adam come in this time? Yes, indeed. Adam Barker to pit road. Harry also coming to pit road. Nick Sorensen is back in. They had to have been running on fumes. We've seen the fuel mileage stretched not much further than about 26, 27 minutes over last season and this season. To see him stretch it over 30 minutes this time was a really impressive run. Giancarlo does claim the lead over Max. Yannick now in third. Adam Barker smokes him as he comes out fourth. Giancarlo's lead over Max, 3.4, 3.5 seconds now. Max's whole goal this morning was to keep Giancarlo behind him, but after pit stops, Giancarlo now back out in front. Looking at Adam Barker and Harry Volsmir's pit times, they really must have been on fuel and filled up as much as they needed. Both of their lap times much longer than everybody else's. Adam was on pit road 18.7 seconds. The average for Yannick, Max, and Giancarlo was around 14 seconds. Harry on pit road for 22.8 seconds, one of the longest stops out there. Nick Sorensen is out of the race officially. And Mike Marshall is back on pit road. Giancarlo's lead now 4.5 seconds over Max. Yannick in third, 6.8 seconds behind. He is gaining on Max at the moment. Adam Barker back in fourth now has a 10.5 second lead on Harry in fifth. Rudolph back in sixth. Mike Marshall in seventh. The field pretty spread out at the moment. But as we saw in race one, it only takes one mistake to put the whole field back together again. Yannick still trying to reel in Max. Max able to keep him about 6 seconds back. David, I was kind of wondering the same thing. Could they have overfueled, or could they have been so low on fuel when they hit pit road that they needed that extra fuel? It is a bit odd to see everybody else. Giancarlo's stop about 12.7 seconds. It is odd to see a stop that much shorter. But now we have to wonder, do Giancarlo and Max Gunther have enough fuel? They did go past the halfway point, so likely they do. But it does look like some fuel and pit strategy at play changed the face of this race. A lot of the drivers do seem to have taking it a little bit more cautiously the second half of this race, now that they have some breathing room. Not seeing drivers going off track as much, especially when they know the drive-through penalty not in effect this morning, and it will just be a disqualification if they get too many incident points. Adam Barker has started closing in on Yannick, but 9.3 seconds back. Yannick is only closed to about 5.9 seconds on Max. And Mike Marshall is headed back to pit road. Some unexpected pit stops here late in the race. Wouldn't it though? Mike Marshall on his way to his pit box. It does look like the drive-through penalty is in effect. And it looks like that is what Mike Marshall just did, was a drive-through penalty. Going into the race, the drivers thought the drive-through was not enabled and it would be disqualified only on incident points. It does appear the drive-through penalty, though, is in effect. Now the question is, do these drivers that have been a little bit more conservative the second half of the race push it just that little bit much more, knowing they're not going to get DQ'd? Yeah, I remember that one too, David. That one really hurt. Adam is starting to reel in Yannick a bit quicker now, 7.6 seconds back. Interesting to note that coming out of that final turn on lap 1, Adam went wide, slid and spun to the infield wall, has recovered up to 4th place. This is the Adam of old that we are seeing here this morning, the comeback kid that just overcomes no matter what the race throws at him. Oh, Adam almost did it again, went way wide out of that final turn. Giancarlo's lead now 7.5 seconds over Max. Max has pulled a bit of a gap on Yannick now in 3rd, 6.4 seconds. Adam in 4th, now 7.25 seconds back. Continuing to gain ground on Yannick, but does not look like he will have enough time. He's gaining just over a second a lap at the moment as Mike Marshall moves over to let Adam by. I wondered that too, but Adam did have his fast repair and it looks like it was utilized. Harry Volsmere back in 5th, now about 12.5 seconds back. A big points day for Harry today after missing last week at Sebring. Giancarlo continues to grow that gap. Max Gunther had a bad lap last time by. Yannick has closed back down to 5.3 seconds. Adam now 6.25 seconds back. Just ran his fastest lap of the morning last time by. Oh, Adam way wide coming through the kink. That turn especially tricky coming through that kink. Hit it wrong as we've seen multiple times and you'll go off into the wall. Go too wide, you get a slowdown, but you can lose so much momentum and so much time just not carrying enough speed through the kink. It is definitely a balancing act through there. Harry still holding on to 5th place at the moment. Rudolph in 6th. Mike Marshall is still out on track in 7th. Giancarlo's lead now almost 10 seconds over Max. Yannick in 3rd, about 5.7 seconds back, has been unable to gain more ground. Adam in 4th, still clawing back some time, now 5.7 seconds behind Yannick. Hey, good morning, Russell. How are you? Giancarlo just a couple more times around, and it looks like he may pull off the first sweep of the season. Yannick is closed down to about 4.2 seconds on 2nd place Max Gunther. Adam now 5.3 seconds behind in 4th. Russell, that's awesome. I had told Jared to make sure he followed up with you the other day. Looking forward to seeing you next season, buddy. Giancarlo coming through the final turns on the track, should be seeing the white flag this time. White flag is in the air one more time around for Giancarlo. Max still sitting in 2nd, Yannick in 3rd, Adam Barker in 4th. Harry Volsmir currently in 5th, Rudolph Gunther in 6th. Giancarlo's lead now 12 and a half seconds. He can practically coast it in from here. Adam Barker still reeling in Yannick Gunther, but not enough laps left. He's now 3.7 seconds behind. And out of the final turn, Giancarlo does it. The first time this season, Giancarlo will sweep both races. Max Gunther coming out of the final turn will finish second, and Yannick will come home in third. Let's talk to our top three. Yannick, I really thought there at the end, well, early on in the race, it looked like you were going to lose your nickname today.
It looked like for a little bit, but yeah, they were much faster than me. Giancarlo and Max just, they're in a different level.
Well, it was a great race, and there at the end of the race, you obviously had the long run speed. You were reeling in Max pretty rapidly.
Yeah, that was, I think he kind of cooked his tires too much. It was fun. I thought maybe I can get him, but yeah, at the end, it's a P3. That's fun. It's fine.
Well, man, congratulations. A great job this morning overall, and great run.
Thank you, Doug.
And Max Gunther coming home in second. Max, you had a great run in the early going, but you just couldn't keep him behind you.
Yeah, he undercut me. He was cheeky. Well, it was great.
It was definitely a great race. And were you watching closely to see if the cool one was going to catch you that last few laps?
Yeah, my tires were just gone. They weren't left. I didn't even look yet, but I think they're like down to 70% or something.
Wow.
And I took fresh ones.
Well,
So-
I think everybody took fresh ones today. Man, you had a great run there. Congratulations. A great finish, Max.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
And finally, our winner and first sweep of the season. Well, Giancarlo, the first one, I don't think it actually happened last season at all. And the first time this season, you swept it.
Yeah, that was a fun race. There was some great battling with Max at the start, really throughout. And yeah, feels good to have the first one.
You, Max, and Harry, they're about 10, 15 minutes into the race. The three of y'all battling it out was just, that was some crazy racing to not ever touch, to be side by side and nose to tail as much as you guys were.
Yeah, I'm watching Harry and Max go through the chicane side by side right now. I've never seen that before. So that's just fantastic racing.
I've broadcast a lot of races and I've raced here a lot. And I can tell you I've never seen somebody successfully go through the chicane here side by side. I've seen people try it, but it's never succeeded. So
I don't think you could ever do that in just an online open lobby. But here, there's some good respect between us all, which leads to racing like that. So you'd love to see it.
Well, man, that was an awesome race. A great sweep of the morning. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in this morning. My apologies for my voice and being out of breath. Hopefully we'll feel better tonight. We may be bringing in a guest broadcaster tonight, so you don't want to miss out on that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Have a great day, everybody.